Brian Koberger pleading guilty to killing those 4 students in 2022. A judge has now sentenced him for that crime.
The world's watching because of the kids, not because of you. Nobody cares about you.
I can't breathe. I can't think. I can't stop shaking.
It was just after 4 a.m. in Moscow, Idaho. Inside a quiet rental home near the University of Idaho campus, 4 students, Ethan Chapin, Zana Kernodal, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves, are sleeping. By 4:17 a.m., 3 of them are dead. The 4th, Zana, is still alive, but only for a moment longer. The suspect leaves no clear motive, no murder weapon, and seemingly no connection to the victims. But he leaves behind something else, something he doesn't realize will unlock the entire case. On the morning of November 13, 2022, police receive a 911 call reporting an unconscious person at the King Road house just off campus.
Something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what.
What is the address of the emergency?
1122.
What is the rest of the address?
Oh, Kings Road.
Inside, officers discover a crime scene that would shock the entire country. 4 students stabbed to death in their sleep. No forced entry, no signs of robbery, and no suspect.
And tell me exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and she's not waking up.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah.
What began as a missing persons check quickly escalates into one of the most high-profile murder cases in American college history. The victims were young, vibrant, and deeply connected to the university community. Madison and Kaylee were lifelong best friends. Zana was dating Ethan. All of them were known to be kind, fun, and full of life. The brutality of the murders, combined with the victims' innocence, created a nationwide demand for justice. But with no murder weapon, no witnesses, and no confession, investigators had to rely on something else: forensic evidence. And Brian Koberger, the man responsible, had no idea how much of it he left behind. 28 years old, PhD student in criminology at Washington State University, just 10 miles from the crime scene. To most, Koberger was quiet, intelligent, awkward. But to investigators, his academic obsession with how criminals get caught was more than a red flag. He wasn't just studying killers. He was trying to become the one who outsmarts the system. At the crime scene, police recovered a single leather knife sheath left on Madison's bed. It contained male DNA, but there were no hits in Quietus. So, investigators turned to something new: genetic genealogy. By tracing the DNA through family trees, they found a near match. It led them to Pennsylvania and to Brian Koberger.
Hello, I am Officer Loangus. Stops being audio and video recorded. I think you know why I stopped you. You ran the red light.
What actually happened was I was stuck in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah,
so
I was behind you the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically you're not supposed to enter the intersection at all for that reason, because if the light turns red, then you're stuck in the intersection, and then you run the red light. So that's the reason I stopped you. Do you have your license on you?
Yep. So would you explain that to me a little bit further? So in Pennsylvania, when you're stuck in the intersection, you have to make the left. So what would the appropriate thing for me to have done?
You're not supposed to block an intersection like that in Washington, so just by you blocking the intersection, that's technically a ticketable violation, and then you're running a red light, so it's another ticketable offense. So you're not supposed to proceed into the intersection until you can go, because a lot of people do what you just did, right? Is like you're sitting in the intersection waiting, and then turns, and then you're blocking, so.
For weeks, FBI teams quietly followed Koberger and his father as they drove cross-country for the holidays.
Go off the state, please get your license registration. only reason I stopped you, man, when you were driving by me there, you're a little too close to the back of that semi. About one car between you and the back of this trailer. We're about one car going 10 miles an hour, so we're going 60 or 70 miles an hour. We're about 6 or 7 cars.
Agents sifted through trash at his parents' house and recovered DNA that matched the sheath. On December 30th, 2022, a SWAT team stormed the family home in the middle of the night and arrested Brian Kohberger. He was calm, almost emotionless, but the evidence surrounding him was anything but subtle. DNA on the sheath, cell phone pings placing him near the crime scene on multiple nights before the murders, security cam footage of a white Hyundai Elantra, just like Kohberger's, speeding away from the house at 4:20 a.m. And most chilling, a surviving roommate saw a masked figure in black, bushy eyebrows and a fixed stare, walking silently out of the house just after the attack. That description, it matched Kohberger. In the months that followed, the case became a national obsession. Reddit threads, TikToks, news segments dissected every detail of Kohberger's past.
You know, you see the world in pure innocence, and that all gets ripped away from you in one phone call. That's just the day that changed it all.
Now to new details on the murder of 4 students at the University of Idaho. The campus is shutting down for the holidays with the killer still on the loose, and we're getting a new look at the so-called party house where the victims lived, and hearing from one student who once lived there.
Also, we're getting some new insight into that gruesome crime scene and the house where the murders took place. We're now learning that police spoke with one of the victims on the phone about 2 months before the killings as part of a noise complaint.
He studied serial killers. He posted surveys online, asking criminals how they felt after committing murder. He wrote about his own struggles with visual snow and lack of emotion. Some called him awkward, others called him calculated, but a jury would soon call him something else: guilty. Brian Kohberger was sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. The courtroom was silent as victims' families spoke.
The world's watching because of the kids, not because of you. Nobody cares about you.
I can't breathe. I can't think. I can't stop shaking.
My sister Kaylee and her best friend Maddie were not yours to take.
Go to hell.
Maddie was my only child that I ever had.
Tears, shaking voices, and final words for children they'd never see again. The man once obsessed with how criminals got caught had finally become the case study himself.